John, I tell you what, if you guys don't know a lot about curling, come on down to Ralston Arena this week and get an education. Listen to this. I don't know if you heard that, but there's an alarm going off and he is snoring. I was practicing because I'm going to give this a shot. We're going to talk with the people in this tent, the first people in line. They have a TV in there. Kids will love this. Take a look. This is Santa's Mountain.
Push off with your right, and that's where all your power is going to come from.
They have these little cottages set up like the one behind me, and this is a vendor's booth where you can come and buy stuff. He's a 21-year-old, and you think maybe he wants a TV, something like that, but you're in line for what?
I'm here for a vacuum cleaner.
And it changes the game. I was walking around on my shoes. I thought, oh, this is easy. You put those on, boom, whole different ball game. So we have more details at ketv.com or Wales. John and Melissa, daylight will bring a clearer picture of the damage at this apartment building behind me, and it will give investigators a better opportunity to get inside the building and figure out what caused this fire. And out here live this morning, you can still just see the mess that's left behind right out here in the parking lot. 10 hours later, water is still pouring out of the building. John and Melissa, within the past couple of minutes, I did get some new information about this fire. The flames are out, but you can still smell that smoke in the air. In fact, I just looked down and there's drywall littering the sidewalk here where I'm standing. Melissa and John, I came out here and I forgot my gloves. Thankfully, our photographer Tyler borrowed me an extra pair that he had, but I almost feel guilty for wearing them after what I saw when I stepped inside the Sienna Francis house just a couple of minutes ago. I was able to take some pictures and we want to show those to you. Take a look at the crowding. This is overcrowding. The shelter has 220 beds for men. The people that you see here sleeping on mats on the floor, these are people that are well past that 220 number. There are about 311 men that showed up at the shelter last night needing a place to stay to get out of these cold temperatures. And the Sienna Francis house says that is not uncommon. And that is a big problem when it gets as cold as it is outside right now. There is some good news, though. The Sienna Francis house is building a new facility, but that will not be done for another year. So that's another winter of this overcrowding situation. And there's also a need for winter outerwear, things like hats, gloves, and winter coats. You can donate those items right here at the Sienna Francis house, and that is at 17th and Nicholas. All those donations are appreciated, and you can get more information online at siennafrancis.org. And I have to tell you, I was just taken aback when I stepped inside and saw how bad the situation is. People sleeping on floors. I want to show you this mat. They don't have enough mats for people to sleep on. This is made out of grocery bags. Some ladies at a church, they made this mat for people to sleep on. There's also people sleeping on chairs. Those are common areas where there aren't supposed to be people sleeping. And that just goes to show you what the homeless problem is right here in the metro. We are live this morning. James Wilcox, KETV Newswatch 7.
All right, James, thank you.
KETV Newswatch 7 First News starts with breaking news.
And we are following developments this morning in two deadly overnight incidents less than 15 minutes apart.
And just blocks apart as well. The first happened near 36 in Leavenworth. A man was killed after a witness says he fell into the street and was hit by multiple vehicles. None of them stopped to help. Then a woman was killed when her car flipped over at 36 in Dodge. We do have new developments in both of these, but we begin this morning with the cold weather and meteorologist Molly Bernard.
Well, it is cold out there, unfortunately, but the sun's up and there was a beautiful sunrise this morning. James, Chen.
Molly, thank you. Two people are dead this morning after two traffic incidents just blocks apart.
The first happened just before midnight. This was near 36 in Leavenworth. Police say a witness saw 64-year-old Julian Branker walking with a cane slip and fall into the street right there at Leavenworth. Then he was struck by at least 3 vehicles. That witness says none of those drivers stopped to help. Medics took Branker to the hospital with extremely critical injuries, but he died a short time later. This morning, police are searching for those drivers. They do have a description of one, simply a red SUV, dark red. It's unclear, though, if the drivers knew that they had hit the man. If you have any information, you are urged to call Omaha Crime Stoppers, the number on your screen there at 402-444-STOP. Cold temperatures not keeping runners from taking part in the 6th annual Hitchcock 100.
Yeah, it's called the 100 for a reason. The race started about 2 hours ago, and participants would be running 100 miles, all to support the Hitchcock Nature Center. KTV Newswatch 7's Naya Gonzalez is live at the race in Council Bluffs. Naya?
Back to you.
I thank you. 8:05 now. Developments as the Omaha Archdiocese says Gregory Sedlicek has ties to the Catholic Church.
The Omaha public school teacher is charged with sexually assaulting a 7-year-old girl he was teaching at Fontenelle Elementary.
McNeil says the letter, quote, warned us about his behavior at the school as a volunteer. The letter said Sedlicek had violated its policy on maintaining appropriate boundaries with children, but was never accused of a crime. Officials immediately dismissed him from the seminary. McNeil says Sedlicek was able to enter because he had no criminal record and passed a background check. The Archdiocese, however, did not report concerns to OPS. They say they did not do that because they did not know he had applied there. McNeil also says Sedlicek worked at Madonna School, where 4 girls accused him of touching them inappropriately during a pool outing. From Madonna, he went to the Pine Ridge Reservation, then to Holy Name as a volunteer, and his last stop is believed to be Fontenelle Elementary. The Archdiocese this morning also clarifying the sexual abuse claims within the church. Officials say it had sent documents to the Nebraska Attorney General on 138 people, who included priests, deacons, nuns, and church personnel. The church did not name 100 of those because they had no substantiated claims of abuse or misconduct. 8:08, we've told you about skimmers at First National Bank locations here in the metro. Now, Omaha's news leader is hearing from victims. Police reports show the thieves took $75,000 from 3 different First National ATMs. The bank says someone put a skimmer into the ATM card slot that was reading information from magnetic strips that allowed criminals to make physical copies of customers' cards. One of those victims, Dennis Paulson, he says something seemed off about the ATM he was using Sunday morning, but he still used it.
I've developed a habit even at the gas pump. Give it a tug, and I gave it a tug. There was nothing. But I did notice a light, but it's an ATM. It's all got lights, buttons, and everywhere. I was like,
First National says customers are not responsible for any losses, and it has alerted several hundred people who are considered to be at risk. 8:10, following through on a campaign promise, Congresswoman Cindy Axne begins her 16-county tour today. The newly elected lawmaker will be in Council Bluffs. Other stops are in Glenwood, Sidney, Clarinda, and Red Oak. Axne said she would visit all of the counties in Iowa's 3rd District during her first year in office. The train that carried President George H.W. Bush to his final resting place in Texas is headed to the metro. Union Pacific says 4141 will be on display at home plate next to TD Ameritrade Park tomorrow. The train will stay there behind a locked gate until noon Wednesday.
Mark your calendars, March 23rd, 2019. That's a Saturday. If you bought tickets for today's concert, they will be honored for the March date.
So you can maybe do a little song or dance, JT style.
Waiting for the concert.
There you go. Save it. Save the good stuff. It is now 8:11. Coming up, your guide to events around town this Saturday. That's coming up.
Plus, on the National News Watch, more changes within the Trump administration. And for the first time, the president is named in court papers surrounding alleged hush money paid to women during his campaign.
But first, a Weather Now update with Molly. What about you? You want to give a little JT a shot?
I think I'll also go ahead and wait until the concert. But the good news is it's sunny, so a good reason to do a jig this morning. Staying cold, but I'm tracking a chance for some winter weather in my 7-day forecast on the other side of the break.